bar spins, tail whips, the seat post mount would be the best. Today we're gonna find out which GoPro mount is the best for dirt jumping. I have these mounts to play with. This is the regular GoPro mount, the higher one, and this is usually what I ride with. Then we have the chest mount. This one here you can put on your wrist. Then we have this one here you can mount on your frame, on your bars, wherever. And here is just the extension for that. Also extension for the GoPro mount. It's gonna be cool to try. Here is something when it's windy outside, you can take away the noise, so we're gonna try that one as well. So the plan for now is to compare all these, try them out, and see which one is the best. And I think I'm gonna start with the normal one. This is what I use the most. And yeah, let's do some laps. So this mount here is the normal GoPro mount, is the high version, and I usually have this on my GoPro all the time. Like this is the one I use the most. And this one here is the lower attachment, is the lower GoPro mount, and I just wanted to see if there's a difference by using these two. But actually they're pretty similar. I think it matters more the way you set up your GoPro, if you want to angle it more up or have it more down. But yeah, I think these angles are pretty cool. You can still see the bar and you can still see the jumps in front of you. So yeah, those are cool for sure. So the next up is the chest mount. Let's see how it looks. So the chest mount is on. I'm gonna try to ride some other jumps right now, so let's go. So when I put the chest mount on, I usually put the GoPro upside down on my chest, because then you can angle it more forward. And here it's the same thing. It matters way more how you set your GoPro up than what kind of mount you have. You can see that I tried both the smaller attachment and the bigger one, and yeah, they look pretty similar. I think you can set them up the same way. And also, just so you know, I use the GoPro Hero 8 Black, and yeah, you can obviously see the settings here on the screen. Let's move on to the wrist mount. So now it's time to try this mount here. I'm gonna put it on my wrist and then ride a super small line here and hopefully get some good shots. And this one here, I noticed that I have a like super cheap version of it. So it could be better if you have a proper setup. But I had a super cheap one and it broke super quick. I did one run with it. Okay, so I did one lap with the wrist mount and I destroyed it. Let's move on. The next mount is gonna be on the seat post. So we're doing this one here. I hope this one will get a good angle of the bars, and you can also see the bike, the front wheel. And yeah, I really hope this one is cool. I think it's gonna be cool for tail whips, because then you see the bike spinning around you, and also for bar spins. So let's try it out. We moved on to the big line now to be able to do some more tricks. I think this one could be really cool. We have the GoPro on the seat post now. Let's go. So this one is really cool as well. First when I tried it, I set it up so I saw my saddle a bit, and that wasn't too cool. I really liked how the tricks looks on this angle here, so I'm gonna do a line with some bar spins and some tail whips. Let's go. Then I moved it so it didn't show in the picture, and it looked way better. And I really liked how the bar spins looked on this one, also the tail whips, and I think this mount can be really cool for some certain tricks if you want to do especially tail whips or bar spins, as you can see. Let's move on to the next mount. Okay, so the next mount I'm gonna try out is this one. I think this one could be really cool, so let's try it out. To keep in mind here when you're trying out the different mounts, the different mounts will be good for different kind of tricks, and also the angle you put the GoPro in on the mounts makes a huge difference. As I said there in the video, the angle matters way more than I thought, and always when I put the GoPro on, I just put it on my head. I haven't really cared about how it looks. I just want to see the tricks, see the in-run and stuff. I think the most of the riders are like this, that they just want to put a GoPro on, see the tricks, and that's it. So That's why I wanted to make this one pretty simple and easy to follow. I can't wait to come home and compare these ones, because it's so fun to try different angles out, different mounts, and hopefully after this day we will find out the coolest mount ever. Oh, Marcus. No! Oh! Yeah, we'll do it for sure. Okay, so now I moved it a bit forward, and we're gonna see how that looks. And in this clip here I leaned the mount forward, and I think it's looking pretty cool as well. You don't see the bike that much, but I think that's okay for some locations. I really like all the angles we have done previously here, but now it's time for the noise. So I'm gonna try one run without the noise reduction and then one with it, and hopefully we can see if it works. Let's go! This one is really interesting because whether you're riding or like vlogging with your GoPro, the sound matters, and it's not that nice to have like wind blowing into your microphone. You can really hear the wind here in the shot without the wind cover. Okay, now we got the wind reduction on. Let's see if it makes a difference. Oh, it's actually a huge difference. The one with the wind cover, it blocks out so much wind, and it was windy all day. That was really cool, and it's working, so I'm super stoked. Yeah, so that was all the testing for today. I wanted to try out some more mounts like the angled one and stuff, but I'm a bit too optimistic with the time, so I didn't really have time to set it all up. Okay, so now it's time for us to compare. I'm just gonna compare my favorites against each other and then come up with the best of those. And here is the helmet mounts. I can't really see a difference with the like higher mount and the lower mount. I think it matters way more how you set it up, if you lean it more forward or more back. So yeah, the conclusion there is like it doesn't really matter. It depends on how you set your GoPro up. Now we're gonna compare the chest mount, the high version and low version, and here the conclusion here is it's actually looking pretty similar, and the angle matters way more in my opinion. And I tried to set them up the same. It doesn't really look like a huge difference, so as long as you put them upside down, it will be good. And this one is a bit harder to compare, but this is the seat post mount and the extension mount, and yeah, I actually have a hard time figuring out which one of these I like the most. But yeah, they're totally different angles, so I think the tricks matters here, and what kind of course you're riding. The number one mount I like the most is actually the helmet mount with a high attachment. As I said, it doesn't really matter if you have the high attachment or the low one, but I feel like you're coming a bit more away from the helmet and the high one, so it looks a bit better, and it's also the easiest to set up. You can just put it on your head and it's hard to get it wrong. So that's why I like it the most. And in second place for me is the chest mount with the high attachment, because you get it away a bit from your body. It doesn't really matter as we came up with, but it's cool to have some more space between the GoPro and your body. And I think this one could be the best looking overall if you set it up right, but it takes a while to set it up, and yeah, that's why it's the number 2. And the number 3 is actually this is a split decision for me. I couldn't really decide, because I think the extension mount is way better if you want to see more of the view, and if you're riding in a cool place, then the extension mount would be the coolest. But if you want to do some cool tricks, maybe some bar spins or some tail whips, the seat post mount would be the best. So those are my opinions, and I think it's really cool. I might want to try to set them up differently someday. Also, if there is any other cool mounts I should try out, please let me know. If you have some other opinions, or if you have some tips for me, please let me know. I also did a full lap in the park just to show you around, and also to try out the mount. So I just wanted to make this shot so you could see how it could look on different kind of features. I really like how we can see the whole environment in this one. And you can still see the tricks I'm doing, and yeah, you got a good like point of view. Yeah, this is with the wind cover on, and I really think this is a good point of view of how it can look while riding with the GoPro. And yeah, you can see the tricks good, you can see where you're going, and you might want to turn it down a bit more to see the bars, but I think the chest mount would be better for that if you want to see the bars. But anyway, this was super fun to test them out. If you like my content, please support me by subscribing and liking the video. Yeah, that's it. Take care and see you soon.